Hey lovelies, welcome back. In this video we are talking about how to let go of bad memories and resentment and anger towards SP, because this is one thing we see with our clients over and over and on the community where they struggle to let go of this. So stay tuned.
I'll be your light. Be your light.
Hey lovelies, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
And we are helping you master your mind to manifest your desires. Before we jump into the video, we are always reminding you guys that if you're enjoying our content and it's helping you go to your next level and you want to learn more, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. As I always say, we have all our offerings in the description box below, so if you're interested in our signature coaching and you want that one-to-one support, you can find out more in the description box below. Let's jump in.
I've been seeing it a lot lately with clients when it comes to letting go of the old story about SP, forgiving SP, being angry with SP, holding on to the old memories with SP. People really struggle with this. I see it with my clients and I see it with people in our community when we go live, when we get questions about this all the time. How do I let go of that anger and resentment I'm holding towards my specific person? And what we have to recognise is, in order to create a blissful, happy relationship, we want to be able to let go of that resentment and anger we're holding on to due to past memories. Especially if we have an SP we have a lot of history with, and there's things that's happened in the past that we're just holding on to. But we've got to recognise within ourselves, if I want a relationship with this person, I want to be able to come back into the relationship in the most happy, harmonious, loving version of myself, and also seeing my person this way as well. So we've got some tools in this video to help you really let go of that anger and resentment towards your specific person, so then you can start to create a new story with them, that you can actually have the relationship you want with this person and no longer, you know, hold on to that past.
So let's begin here. Why is it important that you let go of the story? Because you know, guys, that it's your dominant thoughts that are creating the reality. When you're occupying a state of perceiving a reality where SP's not doing what it is you want, they're showing up in this way, they've made me feel that way, in that moment you're essentially projecting out a reality of just getting more of that. In that moment, when you bring it back to self, you're being the version of you that doesn't have the relationship. You're being the version of you that is occupying the state of shit is going wrong, I'm hurt, and the list goes on. And we know we manifest who we are. So an important aspect of letting go of the story isn't necessarily for them. It's for you, so you can move on and clear the feelings of resentment, anger, so you can shift yourself back into the state of girlfriend, wifey, or whatever it is that you want. And this is why it's important, guys, because you manifest who you are. So you want to be the version of you, and that's why it's so important to clear and step into the version of you that does have what it is you want, because they wouldn't have the dominant feelings. They might have feelings that crop up of anger, but they're able to deal with them and process them and get back into the dominant state of having their desire.
As you would in a healthy relationship,
Exactly.
right? You know, sometimes things come up with our partner and they might annoy us in that moment. We might feel a bit of anger towards them, but we have to be able to look within and release that and be able to be like, okay, this is fine, this is what's happening. And it's understanding, you know, once we realise sometimes that we've become conscious of manifestation and we've realised we are the cause of everything, what we really want to do in these moments is we want to let go of this. And one tool you can use to let go of this is writing out that old story and writing out all the reasons and writing out things that hurt you in the relationship, and just getting clear of the fact that you're not these people anymore, you're not these versions of yourself anymore. Burning that old story, we're putting it in the bin and we're writing the new story, and we want to just keep bringing that new story forward. We don't want to keep bringing that old story forward. So that's one way we can do it, and this is going to help us to really shift into the identity and the new version of the relationship of how we want it to be, because we have to be willing to release that past and that old story in order to experience the new one. You know, because otherwise we're being double-minded. We're shifting out the old story, new story, and we're being double-minded in this moment. So we want to release that, and, you know, it's starting to say to yourself, I'm the new me now. He's the new him now, or she's the new her now, and we're now experiencing the relationship in this way. And that's really going to help you to start moving forward.
Yeah, because exactly what Leah said, that's one way to do it, because you're essentially I look at that exercise as a brain dump, and when I explain it to my clients, essentially them getting out everything that they're keep on going over in their heads, because we know that when you're stuck in them feelings of anger and resentment, you're essentially having an argument with them in your mind. So when you do this exercise, it's essentially like a clearing and a releasing of everything that you keep going over. Just get it down on the paper. Every time you think of SP, what is it that comes to mind? Get it down on the paper. Every time SP and you're playing that scenario in your head and you're feeling a certain way, get it down on the paper, guys. This is your time to clear that specific emotion and feelings around it.
Yeah, and as we start to clear it, as we start to release it, as we start to work on the new story, those old memories do start to dissipate, and we start to experience our SP in a new way, and we start to see them in a new way, because we're working our self-concept in relation to love and who we are and how we experience this relationship now. That old story starts to dissipate and we can now shift to the new one. And another thing I like to say to my clients is, when we are thinking, say we're going throughout a day, you've done this method, but the old story is still creeping up. Have a go-to mantra when you think about this situation, or when you think about SP and you're thinking about the memories and the anger, and just say to yourself, I forgive myself, I love myself, I love my SP, I forgive him or her, and I'm willing to release this now. I'm willing to see things differently. I'm willing to move forward. I am forgiven and they are forgiven, essentially. And just keep going back to this mantra as much as you need it throughout the day, because it's going to help you to start to clear it all out and just be like, okay, like stabilize yourself, essentially, because we don't want to keep resonating that old identity and the old story.
Completely. And it's a good way. And just to touch on what Leah said, you're doing this stuff simultaneously with your self-concept, because it's essentially like you're focusing on you, you're becoming the version of you, but when the feelings, the emotions, the thinking of old story come up, you can use these tools or techniques like the brain dump method as a way of letting go of the old story and then directing your emotions, your thinking, your state of being towards this new version of you.
Yeah, because I think as well, like when we become conscious manifestors and we realise that we are the cause of everything, we can get into a state and a version of ourselves that is resonating and identifying with, oh, I do things wrong, I've messed things up, I've done this, how comes this happened, and and sometimes we can victimise ourselves, but this is not what we need to do for ourselves. We need to realise why it's happened, like we do. We can realise why something's happened based on, you know, things that were showing and the patterns and the self-concept and the thinking that led to the circumstances that were created. But then we can say, no, I'm now the solution. I'm not that person anymore. I'm now the person who is this person who gets this in their relationship and who has her person showing up for her this way. You know, all is forgiven, I am forgiven, they are forgiven, and we're moving forward now. You know, so it's going back to that. And one thing I like to do on my journey, it was a little prayer called Ho'oponopono. And I would do this for a period of like 30 days or whenever I needed it, and it really helped me to like forgive myself and forgive situations and forgive the people in my life, or forgive my specific person. And we can link a meditation down below, and it's like 5 minutes, and you can do it for like the next 30 days, and you're doing these things simultaneously so that you can really start to just release all that baggage. It's like, you know, you've got your backpack on and you're holding it round with you and you're not letting it go, because, you know, you have to be willing to forgive. I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to see things differently. You can even say those things to yourself. Like, if you want this relationship with your specific person, it is important to let go of the past and let go of these old stories if you want to create a happy, harmonious relationship with this person, so you're no longer bringing that old stuff forward, you know, because it can be better than it was before, and you can have the relationship that you want, and you do deserve that.
Completely. So how would this look like in your day-to-day life, guys? Start with the brain dump. Start with that. Get everything down, clear it, burn it, write the old story.
Yeah, once you've done it once.
Exactly. Once you've done it once, it's something that it's a essential decision, I always say to my clients, of you choosing to move forward. And then when things come up, as you're simultaneously doing your self-concept, you can use the other tools like the whole Ho'oponopono, or doing it in a conversation around you, processing and allowing you to step into this new version of yourself.
Yeah, and going back to what you just said about the inner conversation, you can use the inner conversations to, if you're someone that needs to hear your specific person say a certain thing, not that we always need an apology or, you know, but sometimes we need that reconciliation just for ourselves, not for the validation of the person saying anything to us, but for ourselves. It helps us to shift. So you could imagine your person saying that they're sorry and that they're never going to hurt you again, and that you can trust them, that they can trust you, that you can trust them with your heart, and you're the one they want to be with, and you're the love of their life, or whatever you need them to say to you, and you respond back to you saying, thank you for making me feel so safe in this relationship. I know that we can, you know, move forward together and have the best relationship ever. Like, whatever the conversation needs to go for you, but, you know, use the tool and techniques that are really going to help you to, you know, unidentify with that wounded version of yourself that's still holding on to the past, into the new version of yourself that is successful in love, that relationships work out for, that you always get the love that you need from your specific person, and they're showing up as a favourable version now, giving you everything that you want, and, you know, you have the most loving, harmonious relationship now going forward.
Exactly, that happy, healthy, healed version of you guys. So if you need to, as and when you're feeling the feelings of emotional anger, resentment, come back to this video, guys. Walk through this process, everything that we spoke about, to help you release them emotions and reinforce your power. We're going to wrap up the video here. If you really enjoyed it and you don't want to miss more of our videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube community. And with that being said, guys, we're going to wrap up here. You can find all the links and everything that we spoke about in this video, as well as our offerings, in the description box below, and we'll see you in the next one.